Hi, third graders. First of all, I'm touching my head because I have straight hair today. I used a straightener. Might feel a little weird to see me with straight hair, but gotta switch it up every once in a while. I'm here today because I wanted to show you kind of a fun math activity that you can do to practice your fractions. So I'm going to do the best to show you. It's going to be tricky because it involves Legos. So if you have Legos at home, then this is a fun thing that you can do. Legos are filled with fractions. So I'm going to do my best to show you, but I'll have to like build and then flip it up to show you what's happening. I've got my Lego, I don't know what you call this, a flat, like the piece that all the other Legos stick onto. You don't need to have one of those, but it would be good to have some kind of surface to put some Legos onto. And then I'm going to kind of just randomly grab a piece. I got this one. So we know that fraction means part, right? So when you're showing a fraction in numbers, you're showing some part of a whole. So the first thing I'm going to need to do for this activity is figure out, well, what is the whole? And with fractions, we're taking a whole and we're dividing it into an equal number of groups. So I've got my whole here, and I could divide it into equal groups a few different ways. I could divide it into just how many bumps there are. So there's 6 down here. So I know there's going to be 6 up here also. So there's 12 total. I'm just going to start with that. So I'm going to say that my whole is 12. Okay, I'm going to stick my Lego onto a piece here. And then I'm also going to make a little label stand so I can label my Lego. So I'm going to put one there. And I'm going to put one here, just 2 right next to each other like that. We'll see if that works. And then I cut some little squares of paper so I can write my fractions on them. I'm going to draw a line. And then I'm going to draw a 12 on the bottom. That's my denominator. That shows that that's how many parts there are that make up the whole piece. There's 12 little bumps. They're all the same size. That's how many little bumps make up the whole piece. Now I need to find a fraction or a part of that whole, right? So I'm just going to do another random grab into my Lego bin. Okay, I got this little guy. It has to be a piece that will fit on top of the whole. So I'm going to put this guy right on top of that guy, and then I'm going to write a fraction to show how many parts of the whole this Lego piece takes up. So this Lego piece has 2 little bumps that are the same exact size as these little bumps. So it takes up 2 out of the 12 little bumps that it would take to make the whole Lego piece. So this little piece here represents 2/12 of my Lego. So the fraction that I'm representing here is 2/12. Then I'm going to go ahead, let's see if I can do this, and stick this. Oh, I can't. Okay. So remember I showed you the Lego stand before. It actually has to be a little bit apart from the other one. And then if I, how am I going to show you this? If I go like this, then I can make a little stand to show what that fraction is, except then it goes behind it. Okay. I just moved my Lego so that it was in front of my stand. Now I'm going to go like that. Okay. I'm showing that this little Lego construction here represents the fraction 2/12. Okay. But check it out. It can also represent a different fraction, because I could also say, I'll take this off again, for this Lego piece, that I have 6 equal groups if I'm saying that each 2 bumps is one of my groups, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups that make up the whole. So if I'm going to do it that way, if every 2 bumps is going to be one of the groups in my whole fraction, then underneath the, I'm going to get a different piece of paper. Then if I have my fraction line, my denominator, which represents how many groups I have as a whole, would be 6, right? And then if I stick this guy back on top, well, now it represents something different. It's not 2 anymore because each of my groups is 1. Each of my groups is 2 of those bumps, right? One of those sections that has 2 bumps in it. So now it just represents 1 of those groups, 1 part. So on the top of my fraction card, I'm going to write the number 1 to show that this actually represents 1/6. Well, it could be either depending on what I'm making my groups into. So the fraction represented by that Lego piece could be 1/6 or it could be 2/12. Okay, so I'm going to stick my Lego back on here. And then I'm going to put my cards, my 2 cards, right there. Okay, now I'm going to do another one. I'll try to do it fast because I want you to be able to get to this. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes and grab a random Lego. So this one won't really work because it doesn't have equal groups. This one will work, but it's too tiny. Actually, I'll keep that right there. I can use this one. It's small, but I can still use it. So I could say that this has 1, 2, 3, 4, that's my whole number of groups that I have. I'm going to stick it on there. Let me get a little piece of paper. I'm going to make my fraction line. I'm going to write a 4 for the denominator because that's how many parts make up that whole Lego. Then I'm going to I had this guy too. And if I put that on top of my whole, then that takes up 1, 2 of those 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts that it takes to make a whole. So in the numerator on the top that shows how many of those parts I actually have, I'm going to write a 2. 2/4. And then I need to make another handy dandy label stand. Okay, stick my cards in. Okay, and now hopefully this will work. Yeah, now I have 2 fractions that I'm showing with the fraction card labels displayed behind them. Okay, so I could do this, like I could take up the whole entire flat piece. I can make tons and tons and tons of fraction Legos. It's really fun because you get to build with Legos, and it's really good thinking about fractions too. You have to be flexible when you're deciding how many groups you want and which Lego you're going to use. You have to make some decisions about whether that piece will actually work to represent fractions or not. You're really actually doing some very high level, good, smart, hard, but good thinking about fractions if you choose to do this activity. Email me if you have any questions. I'll be checking my email a lot today. If you do come up with a fraction Lego display like I just did, I would love, love, love for you to take a picture and send it to me. You can just send it to me through email, or I'll put a little assignment page in the math folder. It'll be called Lego Fractions if you want to submit it through there. Okay, have fun.